Here we've got a cluster of 4 Landis Gyr meters. One made in the UK and the rest is made in Switzerland. I'm going to connect these up and then we'll go into more details. So halfway through the wiring, getting there slowly. I've energized the meters. Nothing blew up, that's good, so the polarity must be okay. 6 watts, 6.1 watts, that's all the potential coils in parallel. 60 milliampere, 234 volts. Got a bit of load on there, 233 watts, that's the dehumidifier. And the meters should be all spinning. The reason I put this whole cluster up, this is a 3 decimal meter. Here we got a 2 decimal meter. Here we got a 1 decimal meter, that's a 3 phase. And here we got a 0 decimal meter, that's a 400 volt meter 2 phase. Which will run quite happily on 230 volts as well. This meter did feature in another video. Never seen one meter with 3 decimals. It reads 2 watt hours on the dial. English made meter. It was used as a CT meter. This is a Swiss made meter. CF3. Swiss made meter. I think it's an MG1. I put the 3 phase elements in series, so it runs a bit faster. 600 rev a meter. Made in Switzerland. Polyphase, 2 phase meter. They call it single phase, but I maintain it's 2 phase, 400 volts. I'm going to take the covers off shortly. I'll let these meters percolate for a wee while. So it goes, just got internal dehumidifier. It's creeping slowly, but it works. That's an 87.5 revolution per kilowatt hour meter. So it sits on this really low reading scale. Here we got all the meters with covers on. That is a real monster cup, the 400 volt version meter. The noise here in the background, they're doing roadworks here, they're putting new water mains in for water care. So, overcast day, we're a couple of days away from a cyclone that's going to hit us, so we'll see what happens and I'll keep you guys posted. So the meters are dehooded and we'll go over them again and we'll go into the mechanisms. These meters are just amazing pieces of engineering. Absolutely beautiful made. That's got a different constant, so that runs slower. I think that's 67.5 on this one. All these meters from 1920s, 1930s. Here we've got the polyphase meter. Nicely weathered dial. Three discs. Brake magnets on the side. All typical Landis Gyr brake magnets. This motor was only rated at 5 ampere. So as you can see, current coil, quite thin wire, and the potential coil for each element. And there is one here at the lower level, and there's one on the upper level. 3 disc meters are not sensitive to phase rotation reversal. And now we got the 4 core meter, 400 volts, sorry. And here we got the 400 volt meter, rated at 30 ampere. Stop now by the look of it. We got an inductive load on here, so it's going very slow here. I can see it move here, you can see the disc. Interesting is the little differences between the British made meter and the Swiss made. Here we got the drive shaft. It's in the same plane as actually the register dial pointers, the gears. So the fiber wheel measures in from the side of the worm drive, if you can see it. I'll see if we can get a shot of this. You can see the worm drive, the brass colored worm drive, and the gear wheel, the fiber gear wheel. I've been thinking about it, but it makes meshing a lot harder on the meter, especially when you're adjusting the top two screws for the register plate. Oh, these screws is quite loose too. The Swiss have done it all a bit different. They, without blowing myself up, the fiber gear wheel goes sideways into the mesh. Then there's a 90-degree crown wheel to get it to the same plane into the register dials. So does the Swiss polyphase meter. Instead of a fiber gear wheel, it uses a brass gear wheel. And the meshing is probably visible, hopefully. Let's see if we get a shot of this. Absolutely beautifully made. Meshing on meters should be about 50% roughly. Don't want the gear wheel banking out in the back of the worm, which will slow the meter down. I'm always fascinated looking at these type of meters. Might be a hobby or obsession, but I don't care. It's just fantastic to see how the older engineers, nearly 100 years ago, designed this type of metering equipment, and it's still working in 2022, nearly 100 years later. Absolutely amazing. I won't tell that the electronic meters they put in now, they may last 5 or 10 years and get thrown away, adding more junk pile to the wastes in this modern world. And here we got our lovely 400 volt meter. I'm going to put a 2 kilowatt heater on here to speed them up a bit and see how that's going to perform. I got a bit more puff going through here. Watch the watt hours disappear. One, two, three, 4, 5, and so on. And the watt meter showing me on here just over 10 ampere, 2321 watts. I hope the meter picks it up. Okay, I'm going to unplug that heater because I don't want to cook that meter. Back to normal speed. Wait till this meter is on 0.000. So reading now 049905. current coil. This is a 5 ampere current coil that's got about 8 or 9 turns. This is a 10 ampere coil here, that's 3 coil turns on either leg. This is the 30 ampere 400 volt meter that's only got 1 turn on the current coil. Hard to see actually, but it's, yeah, it's 1 turn. So 1 turn on either leg, so that's 2 turns all up. And this one is also hard to see, it's a true 5 ampere meter. 5 or 6 on either side, so 12 turns. So as you see, the lower current rating, you get more turns to get the amount of flux to get these meters to work. And a different meter speed, of course. Oh, this is so pleasing to watch these dials. People who appreciate metering will appreciate this type of video. So this whole lot is gonna be this metal shortly, and I'm gonna repaint those casings on these meters which look a bit rough, send them down and give them some nice black spray paint. The loading is at the moment 240 watts. Okay, this is a bit later in the day. The time is about 5:45. They've clocked up a little bit more. The load is 60 watts at the moment, not much. And this, as I get the number readings on the devices. Here we've got a certification label on this particular meter, that's 1930, and that would indicate at least 1930 or probably prior to that date. We certified in 1965. This is also CF6. So this little one in there too. They're not on a test platform, they're just inside in the workshop, these meters. They're slowly ticking around, so yeah. Landis Gyr Swiss made beautiful meters. This is going to be the final reading for this particular setup survey. That's 55.464. This meter is showing 5344.14. This meter is showing 69.6 more or less, and this meter is showing 001226, I think, yeah. I've got my glass on so I can't see it that well, so I'm going to de-energize these devices and put it on the video.